Shoot! Oh, yes. Grassroots sports. It's not a new subject, but it is a massive one. We've all heard the problems. Greg Dyke's report alone tells us of the challenges that are facing grassroots sport. Terrible facilities, unplayable pitches, lack of funding and lack of participation. When you consider we've got a £50 billion problem with obesity, money that could be going on facilities, coaches, in turn, players. We all know how vital a part sport plays in our society, but it boils down to this. The majority of clubs in Britain play on local authority land, and with government taking a massive hit on funding, in some instances, local authorities are finding it very hard to maintain sports clubs and facilities. I remember when I started playing football, just wanted to be with my brother to start with the guys, just playing football. We used to go at the youth club, the local youth club, and I was quite pleased that I came from grassroots, and I went straight from my grassroots when I went all the way through, played Sunday morning football. As much as I scored goals at Wembley, and I remember some of the goals I scored at Hilly Fields and the crematorium in Brockley. So, you know, those are great times for me, and, you know, it's times that I know how much grassroots football's done for me and for my life. Just watching the kids out here now, and you see them scoring goals and, you know, see them celebrating. I remember it was exactly the same thing. And like I said, I was playing grassroots Sunday morning football up until 21, and then I went straight to Crystal Palace. So it was really like my life force. It was everything to me. That is the problem I feel that they're having now. Everything's being taken away. We're constantly hearing about football pitches and school football pitches being taken away, local authorities' pitches being overgrown and not used, and it's such a shame.
The facilities have, over the past 30 years that I've been involved in Sacred Heart, I've not moved forward in any way, shape or form. Not only are the running costs starting to get out of control, it's not compliant to the Football Association rules and regulations in terms of child protection. So if the club want to develop and move forward, we've just got no base to move from.
At times I had to invest in the club myself, you know, to get things moving. The biggest problems, sort of lack of support, lack of players, pitch conditions. Unfortunately, some of these areas are, you know, waterlogged through most parts of the year.
Councils, sports people, governments, everybody is trying to find the answer. But what is the answer? What can we do? How do you change it? I met with Chris Jackman, CEO of Shared Access, a guy who's as passionate as I am about making a difference, and someone who's got the kind of answer we need. So Chris, tell me a bit about Shared Access and what you guys do.
Ian, we're a property business with a difference. We design and build telecommunications infrastructure that's shared by mobile phone operators. And that means mobile phone operators are our customers. As a business though, we tend to work with large portfolios where we can see a community need and a real need. Right. An example of that would be in Ireland, where working with the Irish government, we've built over 260 structures on police station sites. It took mobile phone communications to 260 communities that didn't have it, as well as a new police digital radio system that was all part of the finance that was provided. Our search for new sites closer to communities, really being driven by the mobile operators' need to get mobile broadband and internet into the hands of the public, took us to look at sports site locations. And as we did, we realised football clubs, tennis clubs, rugby clubs were all really well placed to provide the network that the operators needed. What we did was to start to work with the Football Association of Ireland and later now the Football Association in England, where we've taken the initiative direct to sports clubs. What it provides is a funding scheme. The sports club can get funding. It could be a new set of floodlights, it could be a new roof for a clubhouse. There's a whole range of ways we can invest in the facility, and in exchange we get the use of the site to enhance the mobile communication in the area. So the operators get a site, the sports club gets an asset they'd never been able to afford, and perhaps the ability to get promoted in their leagues. and what we get is an ongoing commitment from the mobile operators. So it's a win-win on all sides.
When Shared Access came and invested in Sacred Heart Football Club, it was an absolute godsend for the Sacred Heart Committee. We were struggling for finances, we had no avenue to go down, and the revenue that we received from Shared Access not only has paid for legal fees for the development of the new club, it's paid for pitch machinery, but more importantly, it's allowed us to have an opening with the Football Foundation to establish and gain Football Foundation support as well, so we can have a bigger, better facility for the future.
Shared Access have really sort of supported throughout the whole process through planning, submission of planning for the floodlights, the lease to extend, because obviously the league regulations require that we have a minimum of a year lease tied to the ground that we're situated in. And Shared Access, literally all the team have been really supportive through start to finish.
Someone else who's been involved with Shared Access and knows firsthand the impact it can have is Jerry Armstrong.
I first met Chris from Shared Access at the Irish Football Association headquarters over 2 years ago, and I saw the opportunities for clubs, football clubs initially, but then it turned out it wasn't just football clubs, it was rugby clubs, it was cricket clubs, hockey clubs, it covered every sport. They've already invested 10 million in the United Kingdom and Ireland so far. My own club at the time was, my old club was Bangor Football Club, who were having difficulties, they were struggling to survive, and I spoke to the chairman there and explained to them about what Shared Access did. We suddenly found that they could help them out. They got a considerable amount of money from Shared Access, which was matched by another Northern Ireland sports agency which were funding. And as a result of that, they built an AstroTurf pitch, which has helped them with revenue over the years, and they're now doing really, really well. I've worked with a lot of councils over the last 2 to 3 years, and I'm so pleased to see Shared Access assisting the councils through the sporting facilities to help the telecommunications. A lot of the councils don't always have money to spend on the sports facilities, but with the help of Shared Access, they now can.
We need to be speaking to the senior people in every council and local authority across the country. It impacts sports clubs, it impacts parks, it impacts communication technology, all in line with government objectives. But the investment's ready, but it won't happen unless we get the attention of senior people to implement it on a large scale.
So what are you guys doing right now?
What we're doing now is working here in the UK, specifically in London to start, where we have interest from mobile operators in over 200 locations. If we could actually build those locations, it would mean investment of around £15 million in the next 12 months. If we look further, with the expansion of the 4G networks that the operators are currently rolling out, we can see the potential for us to invest at least 65 million in 1,000 sites, or even more.
So this really is an answer, a win-win situation. 65 million to invest into our grassroots clubs, public parks and green spaces all over the UK. So what are we waiting for? Hey, coach. Oh, good one, good one. Got to do that Lego.